So yeah, this is just a quick demo of ColorSplit, which is a auto splitter for consoles that I developed just because I was sick of manually hitting splits and they were at slightly different times and I wanted it to be accurate. So this just reads, instead of reading memory values like an emulator auto splitter would do, it reads colors on the screen. So works really well for NES because there's usually large pieces of color you can look at to determine the different spots of the game. So the demo I'm going to do is with DuckTales, which is a game that I just started running recently. So I'm going to open up my Amarek window. So I use this with Amarek. To get the window the way I like it, and it's the way I like it right now, but the way I start is I set it to 4:3, aspect and scan 4:3, and then I set it to 100%. So this is like just the basic input of my video capture card to Amarek, and then I set it to fixed window so I can actually resize it to wherever I want. So the program doesn't care about the proportions of the screen, so you could have the screen set like this and it would read the same spots on the screen if you had it sized like that. So it doesn't matter if you resize the window at all, as long as you use the same window and it's set to fixed window, it shouldn't be a problem. So I have my Amarek window open. I'm going to go ahead and open ColorSplit Setup. Let's see. So yeah, I'm just going to go up to File and go to New and create a new run. So we're just going to call this DuckTales. The only settings are title, split hotkey, and reset hotkey. So title, you could call it DuckTales any %, you know, whatever you want. Split hotkey is whatever is in LiveSplit or whatever split program you use. Reset hotkey is the hotkey that is going to reset ColorSplit. So the reason I put that in there is so that if you hit this button, it'll reset ColorSplit back to square one, and it'll reset your split program. And in my case, I use LiveSplit, so R resets LiveSplit and ColorSplit at the same time. So if I want to start a run over, I just hit R and it starts over the auto split program and LiveSplit. So kind of cool. Active game window. You have to do this every time you open up the setup program. Kind of annoying, but there's really no way around it that I've seen. It says active game window none. Click here to set, and then now click near the center of the game window. So you just click over here at the game window. It doesn't really have to be near the center, but whatever. So there's only one split trigger in here by default, and it's game start, because obviously you want to know when the game starts. So it tells me to click the white squares to assign pixel colors. These are the white squares. Click to assign, click to assign, click to assign. So these are the spots on the screen and the specific colors that I want to, that the program's going to look for to start the DuckTales run. So luckily for me, I know what starts DuckTales, so I'm actually going to go and start the game. So if I start the game on easy, I'm going to immediately pause it just because, actually, I'm going to start the moon because that's the first level that we play in the DuckTales run. So I'm going to start the moon and then I'm going to immediately pause the game because this is what the screen looks like when you start the level. In fact, I'm going to actually make it a little bigger. It doesn't have to be this big. It actually doesn't matter at all. But I know that all this gray down here is going to be my trigger to start the game. So I'm going to click the first square here and just click one of these gray areas. Click to assign. I'm going to click another big gray area. Click to assign. I'm going to click another big gray area. And then when I hit test trigger, it should give us a nice, pretty green check mark, which it does because it found the match because I just set it. So now what we're going to do is reset the console, and we're going to click test trigger. So now it sees blue in those spots because there's all blue on the screen. Searching game window, so I'm gonna go to easy, gonna go to moon, and as soon as I hit the moon and everything appears on screen, I should get my green check mark, and I do. So that's the very first trigger that's gonna start the game. So now you have to know what triggers the next split, so which is the actually the first split. So I'm actually going to play through the moon. Actually, let me add moon as a name of new split trigger, moon. Alright, so let's go to moon. So now it's asking me to set moon, so I need to set the end of moon. So I'm going to play through moon real quick. It doesn't take long to play through moon because you have the moon skip, so I'm just going to use the baby. I say I'm going to use the baby setup for this just because I don't know how to do it really fast. So, oh well, this guy that was actually okay, but this is the baby setup because it happens 100% of the time. Oh, I gotta fight the boss. So let me fight the boss real quick. The rat. Maybe I won't die. Alright, so I'm going to create a little save state here with the EverDrive. So what I want to happen is I want it to trigger as soon as I collect the item. So if you look at the dollar amount up here, as soon as I collect the item, it goes to 1,000,000. So all these white spots appear for the number values. They happen once I collect the item. So I know I can use that as a trigger mechanism. So I'm going to go back. And it says click to assign. So I'm going to click the top one. And I know it's going to appear right up here. I'm going to use the 1 just because it's easy. So I'm going to collect the item. And for all 3, I'm going to use the 1. So that's good. Allowed color variance is something that's for consoles. 10 is probably a little too low. For emulator, you could use 0 because it's going to be the exact same color every time. But for console through capture card, I like to set the color variance between 20 and 30. So for this demo, I'm going to do 30. So if I restore my last save point and do test trigger. So it says searching game window. So right now everything up there is black. So if I open the box, as soon as I grab the item, I'm going to get $1,000,000 up there, and it should trigger, and it did. So that's how the program works. So the only other thing you really need to know about it is this pre-delay. So the cool thing about DuckTales is the money resets every time. In fact, let me show you what I mean by that. So I'm in Amazon now, and see the dollars up top are back to 0. Well, I'm killing enemies and collecting shit, so it's increasing. But it basically resets to 0. So when I collect the item in Amazon, it's gonna collect another $1,000,000. So the trigger for Amazon is going to be the same trigger as Moon. So I can actually click on Moon and go to copy and just call it Amazon, and then click on Amazon. And because those triggers are identical, you have to add a pre-delay on Amazon. What I mean by that is after I finish Moon, I don't want it to keep looking for the same trigger, because the same trigger is still going to be on the screen, the trigger for Amazon, because it's the same trigger. So for Amazon, I'm actually going to do a pre-delay of 20 seconds so that the program doesn't even start looking for the next trigger for another 20 seconds. Oh, it's not letting me save it. I got to save as. Save as, we're just going to call this DuckTales Demo. Alright, so game start is the gray at the bottom. Moon is the number 1 at the top left, and Amazon is the one at the top left with a pre-delay of 20 seconds. So if I play through these three, it should just work. Actually, let's just play through it, and I'll show you what I mean. So let's save it, and let's open the actual program. So the program looks like this, which is, it's not very pretty. I put the two columns, the colors that it's looking for and the colors that it's seeing, so that if you want to, you can capture this window and crop it and put it into OBS or whatever your streaming program is. But no active game window, click here to set. It's the same as the setup program. Every single time you open this program, you have to tell it what window you're looking at, or it's not going to work. So no way around it. Click here to set. Click here to the center of the game window. I'm going to click the game window. I'm going to open DuckTales Demo. I'm going to reset the game. And then I'm going to hit... actually, let me open up LiveSplit just so you can see that it actually does the thing that it's saying it's doing. So let's... Yeah, I can just hit start on the... Ooh, where did it go? Where did LiveSplit go? Oh yeah, okay. So I can just hit start on ColorSplit, and it says game start trigger pixel. So it's looking for the gray and it sees the blue. So if I hit easy and go to moon, it should start my timer. And it did, because it knows I started the game. So now I'm going to play through moon. I'm going to try to actually do it a little faster than I did last time. Having beaten the rat. I'm about to collect the item, and it should skip me to Amazon as soon as I collect it, and it did. So now I'm going to play through Amazon. So if you see in the actual ColorSplit program, it says 20-second pre-delay in effect before Amazon. So now it's not even looking at the game window; it's just sitting there waiting, which is fine. Because now we're going to start Amazon, and now I actually have to play through Amazon. Oh boy. All right. Gonna create a save state here. All right. So I've killed the boss, and now I'm gonna collect the item. And so as soon as I collect the item, it should trigger the split and go to Transylvania, and it did. So that's how this works. It's really simple. There's a lot of games it won't work with if you don't have a nice color spot that you know happens when you want to trigger your split. The only other thing you really need to know is if you want to put this in your OBS stream layout. So there's this O right here, which is the only option to set the background color. So you could set the background color to like blue, and set a color key for blue. That's kind of the only option. Or red. But anyway, that's a demo of how that works. And yeah, watch my DuckTales run and see it happen throughout the entire run.